I get a lot of requests from companies that want me to test their automotive products, but frankly, they're pretty boring. Things like OBD2 scanners, LED lighting. But then I got an email from a company called Lanmodo to test this, and I thought, you know what? It's actually pretty cool. I'll bite. It's the Night Vision Safe Driving Assistant. You can add night vision to any vehicle you want. Now, recently, I was in Washington, D.C. driving Cadillac's new XT6 crossover that has night vision as an option, and it's great. But to get it, you have to pay $75,000. This is much more affordable, and you can add it to any car, even your mom's old Chevette.
Let me point out that there's a version that has a rear camera. I'm not testing that one. If it's important to you, it comes in a nice box. Inside, everything is nicely packed, though not like Apple would do. The instruction manual is something you're going to want to read. This is a sticky pad for the base if you're going to simply plop the night vision unit on top of your dashboard. And if you don't drive too hard, it works okay. The actual night vision unit itself is fairly lightweight, and it's just the right size at around 9 inches wide and 3.5 inches high. Anything larger than that would be too big sitting on top of your dash. It would block your view. And you want it at your eye level so you don't take your eyes off the road. A nice touch, the camera can swivel and rotate a little so you can angle the screen the way that you want and then adjust the camera so it's aligned properly with the road. It's something that I recommend doing in the daytime. Here's everything in the box. A suction cup mount, that's the one that I'm going to use. The power cords, and they are plenty long enough. Screws and a screwdriver to attach the different mounts. Nice that they include that. The base mount with the grippy pad if your dashboard is fairly flat. And of course, the unit itself. Let's check that out.
If you bought the version with 2 cameras, this is how you switch between the two. Here's your menu. Here is the screen rotation. Here's the power button. This is how you scroll up in the menu, scrolling down in the menu, and then switching between black and white and color. I wish this button would be over here someplace. It's kind of get lost in all of these.
So the screen is 1080p, full color, and is about 8 inches wide. Time to go test it out. Though I think we need to wait till it's dark. All right, it's dark. I'm at Green Lake, Seattle's most popular park. Let me turn the headlights off here. There you go. So what I want to show you is what it's like in pitch black. Now, I don't have any elk or moose or deer or anything like that, but I do have pedestrians and cyclists and joggers. Gotta say, that is pretty darn impressive. Now, without the night vision, that's it. It's really, really dark. You're not going to see anything. Very impressive. Here's a guy with a dog, and he's next to his car. You really can't see him. Look at that. You can really see a lot more with this. So let me widen out and show you. Now, if you look really closely at the screen in the upper right, you can see that there are pedestrians, and obviously, when you're looking at the real thing in the left-hand side of the screen, you cannot see the pedestrians. All right, let's go to Seattle's Discovery Park. There are some roads there that would simulate rural roads, and you can see what it's like in action while driving. Here are some shots on the way in a typical city neighborhood. The Lanmodo system does help here. This is all pretty dark, and people in Seattle love to wear black and tend to walk out in front of cars. And while they certainly have the right of way, the human loses every time if a driver isn't paying attention. Let's switch to a busier section of town. This is Ballard, where you would go if you were visiting and wanted a craft beer. There are over 24 breweries here in a 2 square mile area. I don't know how they all stay in business. The best restaurants in town, too. And as long as I'm giving you a tour of Seattle, this is Fisherman's Terminal, a real working terminal. If you watch the show Deadliest Catch, this is the area where the boats dock, and they're great guys, by the way. And as you can see, the Lanmodo does a good job of amplifying the light. My headlights can reach the boat closest, but the ones that are way out there, I couldn't see very well with the naked eye. Okay, we are in Discovery Park, where there is very little illumination from the streetlights.
I'm going to do a picture-in-picture comparison here. I have very good LED headlights on my car, but check out how much more you can see with the Lanmodo. I wouldn't know that building was there unless I was right on top of it. So this is what it would be like if you were driving down a 2-lane highway in a rural setting. It does offer up an advantage. A tip: I set the screen brightness very low at about 25%. Otherwise, the display messes with my eyes. And again, best to mount it right in your field of vision. It makes it much easier to reference. So I'm going to try something. I'm going to turn my headlights off, just the running DRLs, because people need to see my dark painted car coming. And well, look at that. There's not too much of a difference. Now, in complete darkness, which is actually hard to find, there's a lot of noise from the display. But really, in today's modern world, there's light almost everywhere at night, and the Lanmodo unit does a pretty good job of amplifying it. Wish there would have been some people around, but it's midnight. And it doesn't identify humans or animals and put them in a box like the Cadillac system, but it sure does help.
Well, there you go. That's the Lanmodo night vision system. It's actually pretty cool technology. I see it most valuable in rural areas where there's lots of large animals like moose and deer. I used to live in northern Minnesota. They get hit all the time, so any advantage a driver has is worth the money. And the great thing about this is you don't have to buy a luxury vehicle to get night vision.
If you go to Amazon, it's $499, but the company has given me a discount code for 10% off. The version with the rear camera is $100 more. I'm putting links to the Amazon page and Lanmodo's site in the descriptions, so it's easier to get to, but definitely use the code and save some cash.
And just so you know, for full transparency, I don't make money or commission of any kind off sales of this. It's just a review. The discount code is all yours to use. Stay safe out there.